Well, that time has arrived where we are going to hook up the camper, and we're going to the Smokies, Georgia, and then kind of, by the way, if you've never...
Smokies, Tennessee, then Georgia.
Yeah, then if you have not been to Franklin Roosevelt State Park in Georgia, Pine Mountain, Georgia, you are missing out.
Yeah.
I want to show you a couple really fast things before we take off, if you're a camper, and kind of how we do things before we pull off. I wanted to give you a kind of rundown of how we travel.
Everything's locked down.
It is locked down, but it kind of doesn't look that way because you get the pillows out. They're not going to fall. You got our little shoe basket down there. Hats are hung up. They'll stay. By the way, we really don't use command hooks. We're big believers in these suction hooks. They never fall and they don't mess up
And you can move them around.
That's right. If you don't like it, you can change it. So you can kind of see where everything is. These spices, they're going to stay put, Wendy?
Yeah, that's why
she sets one sideways and kind of makes them tight.
That's because they're glass, too.
Gotcha. And then in the back, all the decorative stuff is just laying down. It won't fall off the bed. The lamp's laid on its side. And that's kind of it. There's really, what's the bathroom look like?
The other most important thing is all the cabinets, got to make sure they're locked tight.
Hey, what about that one, Wendy?
Hey, that's yours.
Whoa!
That.
Wendy, what about this candle right here?
That's a no-no.
That's a big, fat, juicy no-no. Fruit bowl is on the floor. Obviously, it pays to double check. Now, do we travel with the blinds closed? Depends on how hot it is. It's in the high mid-50s in Tennessee, so camper's actually pretty cool. But on a hot day, yes, we close all the blinds. We do close the sunroofs, as you notice.
One more hot tip. There's the refrigerator. Look how organized that is.
That's looking good,
We'll
Wendy.
show you that later. But look, you have to make sure that it's latched.
You probably didn't hear that click, but it clicked. That probably could use a washer in it, but we've never had it pop open.
Very exciting.
All right, here we go. And then we're going to put our little thing on the door in case we have a latch. We always put our key here when we're not using it. So we showed this on another video, but this is a brake plate insert.
So that won't lock you out.
Right. And then we lock it up, put that little wooden thing on the door, and off we go. Hook up, shake it up, take off. Hey, quick tip. We were raising the stabilizers, and that kept this door from being real flush and closing tightly. Now, stabilizers are first down, last up. First up, last down. And, but they do make the camper twist a little bit, and sometimes if your door's not closing right, check your stabilizers. Put one on each side. When you crank up the front of the camper, it could roll back. We always use chalk. I think we're ready to go. Well, I'll be doggone if we didn't get to the Smoky Mountains, got a problem. We checked the black tank. First check, we were 69%. So we thought we probably, since we're just like right down by the dump station, we're probably gonna hook up. We're dry camping, so the hookup's gonna be easy. I'm not sure what happened with the black tank, but Wendy thinks she might have just put too much water in there when she was cleaning it out from winterizing. So we took it, sure enough, it was full and we emptied it. So here we go, we got a nice fresh empty black tank. Hey, also I wanted just to touch on the Airstream bike rack. I love this. We're not into electric bikes yet. We still like to pedal. But the reason I like it is because it sits high and I can lubricate it, clean it, stuff like that while it's sitting high, and it's so much easier. So I would recommend these, and our bikes are probably $400. They're not crappy bikes, but they're not $2,000 road bikes either. If you have not rode your bikes on Cades Cove and Smoky Mountains, absolutely recommend it. I mean, it's just incredible. Hey, look, there's Wendy. It's just incredibly beautiful. Now, if you ride it in the fall, oh my goodness gracious. Wendy, we got a traffic jam up ahead. Must be a bear. This is what happens when there's a bear around. All these people pull over, stop. This bear is so far away you can't see jack. You know, one of the cabins here, old John Oliver's place. Can you believe building that by hand? It's amazing. Old John, he knew where to place his cabin, didn't he? Look at that view, man. Wake up in the morning, see that. A couple of bears out here. Sitting on the back porch. Wendy, could you live in a small cabin like that?
By myself, maybe.
Now here's an interesting observation. Do you notice that there are no barbs on this wire? Isn't that interesting? Only a national park would think about wildlife like that. Look, it's another wildlife sighting. Might be a blue jay. Let's go see. You know, they tell people to stay away 50 feet, but they certainly don't do that. This is not cruising around in the wilderness seeing an animal. This is people. So there's a bear right over there. Poor little Wendy. Wendy fell down that entire culvert right there where that young man's standing. Looks like she's got a wound. Are you sure you're okay? That was a good long fall.
I don't know, I hit my head.
Well, Wendy's back wheel locked up. Something has gotten bent. We could barely turn, but I did ride it back with her. We're back at the camper. She got a few contusions here and there. We think everything's good. She pretty much fell on her hip. It was about a 3 to 4 foot fall. So yeah, it was a pretty significant fall. Well, Wendy, how you holding up?
You know, that looks bad, but my hip is hurting worse.
Well, I think you took the fall on the hip. So time will tell what's going on with the hip.
Just keep moving.
Well, you're pretty mobile and you're so dang young, and I think you'll be okay.
Oh.
Here's the big and the most serious question. Do you feel like we could get back out on the bicycles today?
It's all about activity, isn't it?
So I'm going to show you the accident, what happened. The bear was right over there. So Wendy is coming along here and she's riding, looking at the bear, riding. This is where a bike goes. Riding. Bam, crash, boom.
I hit my head
She went all the way down
over there. And then the bear stood up. What'd you do?
The bear started to attack her.
You talked about you falling down.
We didn't catch her because I couldn't. I was fighting that bear off with a knife, a pocket knife. Well, Wendy, you gotta say it's really pretty out here, isn't it? Glad to see you back on the trail. You're a real champion. Well, there's quite a few bears out here today, that's for sure. Well, we have a little issue today. We have lithium batteries, the Victron system, and
Did you hear the beep?
yeah, that was the refrigerator. So we're in a no generator. We do have a generator, but we can't use it because we're at Smoky Mountain, no generator area. So we have 40% battery.
So, allegedly,
Yeah.
the monitor says.
So you can see that the inverter is off, but we have about 40% in our battery. However, the inverter's off, meaning
The outlets don't work, and for some reason the refrigerator's beeping. My thought process is you have 40% battery, but that's not enough ampage to run.
the inverter.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know,
Ronnie,
but we're
what's going on?
We're gonna call Ronnie. Ronnie over at Airstream Nuts and Bolts. Ronnie, help! Fortunately, We had the old standby percolator coffee pot, so we did have a nice hot cup of coffee this morning. So if you don't have one of those, they're on our Amazon store. Well, Wendy and I decided to head out to Vogel State Park. That's our next spot anyway. And until we talk to Ronnie, that has full hookup. So that'll get our power all taken care of, and then we'll let you know what happened to the inverter and why that thing would not come on. Well, we're having a lot of new things happen on this trip. Our little tire monitor just started beeping, and it told us that the front tire, looks like the left front, on the camper might be leaking air. So we're gonna pull over and check it out. Hey, quick update on the tires. Have no idea. They said they were leaking, they were not. So Ronnie will tell us what was going on. We have a hunch at 40% the outlets don't work in the camper, but we have no idea. We'll let you know for sure about that. We are about to hike Blood Mountain. So Wendy took that bicycle fall, and we're not quite sure how she's got a really bad hip right now. That's where she took the blunt of the fall. Baby, how you think you're gonna hold up?
I don't know. We'll see in this tent. I ain't no donkey.
Did you say you ain't no donkey? Oh, this is gonna be good. It's gonna be real good. Well, I think Wendy's injuries are gonna be just fine as usual. She's just a notch below a small jog. There's a reason they call this Blood Mountain. Do you know?
Whose idea was this? Coming off a bike accident, let's go hike Blood
Straight
Mountain.
up 6,000 feet. Here we go. Well, we certainly have reached some point. Now, if anyone ever tells you they've been to the top of Blood Mountain, if you're not seeing this hostile building, you're not at the top. So this thing's very cool. So that probably used to be a fireplace. Pretty cool, huh? I mean, look at these old timbers. Well, this is a welcome sign. We've knocked out 5 miles on the Appalachian Trail. Wendy, give me a 1 to 10 on the hike.
Well, listen, we burned 1,500 calories and walked for 6 miles.
There you go. Appalachian Trail, Vogel State Park, Blood Mountain. Make sure you do it. Wendy, how you holding up? You did great today, especially since you were injured. So nice job.